do nothing. You don't do anything. You just stand there and you watch her get beat on by a grown man. So much so, you watch so much of it happen to where you can describe exactly what he was doing to her. But it also happened so fast that you didn't have enough time to react.
So there's this viral video on TikTok about a young woman whose friend was beaten up by a man that she just met after she denied his advances and wouldn't give out her social media handle. Take a look.
I don't care if you have a boyfriend. Whenever a guy asks for your social media, give him your Snap. Give him your Instagram. I don't care that he looks like an ogre. I had just finished at the club with my friends and we decided to go for a McDonald's and we literally just sat on some steps. Bear in mind we are wearing heels and quite small dresses. Obviously we're all a little bit drunk because we've just come from the club, so logic isn't really kicking in. A man decides to come up to us and says, "Oh, you girls look beautiful." We say thank you. Then he asks for my Instagram and I politely declined. "Oh no, thank you, I'm not interested." The man did not move. He asked again. I said, "I'm literally not interested. Like, no, you can't have my social media." Just decided that he wasn't gonna move until I gave him my Instagram, and he was making us all feel super uncomfortable. Probably should have just given in. If I've said no once, I'm not gonna change my mind. Obviously, men don't understand that. So my friend stood up and she said, "Please, can you move away?" She said no. He said, "No, I'm not moving until she gives me her socials." My friend again said, "Move away." She said no, leave us alone. This man then proceeded to punch her and she literally fell down the stairs, but he wasn't done. He ran down the stairs and continued to punch her, pull her hair. Obviously this is a 5'4" girl against like a 6'1" man. He was so into the whole punching thing that his trousers literally fell down. Like, we could see this man's whole bum while he's got her pinned on the ground, literally repeatedly punching her in the face. We obviously couldn't stop it because we are also just gonna get beaten up. So strangers were jumping out of their car and trying to separate them, and this man just ended up running off. A massive group of men like asked us what happened and tried to find him. Like, they all went after him, but genuinely no one could find him. And obviously with the London Underground, you can hop into any station and disappear like that. And someone who was watching it all happen called the police and they asked for a statement from us and like a description of him. Obviously they never found him and nothing was done about it. This girl literally having a patch of hair missing from her head and bruises all over her. And I can't help but think it was my fault because I chose to say no to a man, which is crazy. The only way to prevent yourself from this happening and staying safe is honestly just let them have it. Because at the end of the day, as soon as they add you, you can literally block them straight away. I would say avoid giving out phone numbers just because they can still carry on calling you on no caller ID even if you've blocked them. I don't care how ugly they are because this is actually a safety issue. No one should ever experience that in their lifetime.
I just watched the most unbelievable Get Ready With Me on my For You page. This girl was approached by a man asking for her social media and she said no, which is her right, that's fine. But this guy wouldn't let up, he would not relent. So her friend intervened because that's what a good friend does. They try to get you out of a bad situation. And this guy punched her and she fell down a flight of stairs. He then ran after her and started beating on her. That is bad. That is outrageous behavior for somebody telling you not to disturb their friend. But you know what the worst part is? Her friends didn't even help her. They stood there and watched their friend get beaten up by somebody who was twice her size. And it took random strangers to break them apart and stop the fight. By then, their friend already had a chunk of her hair missing and she was bruised and heavily injured. And this girl is really sitting there and telling this story while she's doing her makeup like her friend didn't just get assaulted. She then proceeded to do a clarification video where she said she only knew the girl for 2 days. I don't care if you've only known her for 2 days or you've known her for 2 years. Why would you abandon somebody who tried to save you? That guy might have beaten you up instead of her. The only reason he directed his anger towards her was because she was trying to stop what was happening to you. If you had said something even remotely similar to what she was saying, he might have beaten you up. I know that if something like this happened to me, my friends would not just sit there and watch quietly. And the ones who would, I am currently re-evaluating my friendships with them. This is not normal behavior and you are not a good friend or a good person. I feel really bad that her friend had to find out this way that you can't just trust anybody, because she certainly did not care that she had only known this other girl for a short amount of time. She jumped in when she saw that something was happening to another girl. And they couldn't afford her the same courtesy. That's just insane to me. And after all of that, the moral of the story, according to her, is just to give people your social media when they ask for it. Please don't do that. Don't just give random strangers your phone number and social media handles, because it is very easy to find somebody in this day and age. And a lot of people just say, oh, block them. It's fine. You can just block them. They can't contact you after that. Do you know how many people know ways to get around a block? Find somebody, ask for help, call the police, try to get away, but under no circumstance should you share your personal information with these people, because there is no telling what extent they will go to track you down and find you and do whatever it is that they have in their minds. The world, unfortunately, is getting crazier every single day, and we don't have a choice but to find a way around it. Go out with people that you can trust. Go out with people that you know will have your back when something like this happens, because when you're getting beaten up by a rando who doesn't know how to properly process his emotions, you're going to wish that you had a good friend there helping you fight that weirdo off. And that will be a really bad time to realize that your friends are not the people that they portray themselves to be.
After posting the initial Get Ready With Me video, where she details the events that happened, many people in the comment section were not here for it. Some were upset that she seemed so casual while speaking about the attack on her friend. And others thought she was like just fishing for compliments and may have expected people to address her own looks, or maybe even mention things about the dark side of her pretty privilege. There was just an overarching theme of people believing she was just a horrible friend, period.
So you go out and a man comes up to you and asks you for your social media. You say no, and the girl that's with you stands up for you and tells him to piss off, and he ends up beating her up because she stood up for you, and you stand there and you watch her get beat up. Do nothing. You don't do anything. You just stand there and you watch her get beat on by a grown man. So much so, you watch so much of it happen to where you can describe exactly what he was doing to her. But it also happened so fast that you didn't have enough time to react. Okay? And then when everybody is trying to figure out what you got going on, your response is, oh, well, I've only known her. I only met her 2 times. This is my 2nd time hanging out with her. No, I wasn't. She's an associate to me. And that wasn't the point of my video. The point of my video was about women's safety. How can you advocate for women's safety when you stood there and watched a woman get beat up? Y'all gotta watch who y'all hang out with, because these younger girls, they not raised on the same values that we was raised on. They not raised on that value where if y'all go out together, everybody need to leave together, everybody need to go to the bathroom together, y'all need to buddy up, y'all need to have a buddy system. They not raised on that. They not being raised on that. Okay, y'all need to be careful who y'all go out with, for real. Because I don't care if I've known you for 10 years or 10 seconds. If we go out together, we are leaving together. And if you get into something, then I'm in it with you. And whatever the hell happens is what happens. But it's going to happen to both of us.
So things got so heated in the comments that the original creator made another video responding to all the backlash.
This is a follow-up from the video I posted yesterday. First of all, I did not tell the full story because the message I was literally trying to spread was for girls to say yes more to when guys ask for their social media to protect them. Obviously, I didn't go into full detail with the story because I didn't think that it was the main part, but I clearly didn't articulate myself very well. So since everyone is so confused, I'm just going to tell the full story. So obviously, when the whole incident happened, we were screaming and we ran over straight away. But I just want to give context that the whole incident happened in roughly 15 seconds. And we were in a super busy area of London because literally all of the clubs had just shut. So the streets were busy, like people were out, okay? Before they started fighting, they were already shouting. So people were already aware of the situation going on. Literally as soon as the fight broke out, people ran to them straight away to split it up. Like, there were so many people who rushed over and helped us, thank God. Obviously, we were screaming and we ran over, but there were so many people around, we literally couldn't get to them, first of all. And secondly, as girls, it's terrifying. There are grown men getting beaten up by him. Also, I didn't want to bring up this detail because I didn't think it was relevant to the story, but the girl who it happened to, this was literally my 2nd time ever coming across her because we were there for a girl's birthday, and the birthday birthday girl was off with other people, like round the corner from where we were. So while this was all happening, I'm also having to call the birthday girl. The fight had also been broken up pretty quickly, and at this point the guy ran away. So the friend who got hurt, we're all comforting her while the men are also asking us if we're okay. A man literally called the police as soon as they started arguing with each other. So there was already help on the way, and these police officers, instead of coming in a car, they chose to come walking because there was already police like patrolling the area. So help came like pretty instantly as well. I took a picture of the man and I had to email it to the police as evidence, and we all had to give statements because we were all involved. We literally had to give descriptions of the man, and then the police a few weeks on said that the picture wasn't good enough quality because obviously it was very blurry. In the story I made it seem like we were just stood back doing nothing, but if you were to literally watch it back, you can see how many cuts there are in the video because I didn't want to give too many details and I didn't feel like it was that relevant, considering the whole point of the video was me trying to bring awareness to girls not giving out their snaps. Obviously, yes, now I realise I completely misconstrued the whole story, but I didn't even feel like I needed to go into that much detail. But at the end of the day, the message that I was trying to put out was literally to protect girls' safety, and I feel like that was completely missed from the video. Obviously, I didn't tell the story well enough. Literally just trying to prevent a similar thing from happening because I know many girls that go out clubbing and will chill afterwards. So my message is literally just for girls to stay safe.
How do you Thor and body build bitches be as real as a $12 bill? And it shows more and more every day on Beyonce's Good Internet. This is the reason that I am so particular about the company I keep and the people that I associate myself with on a daily basis, but especially when I'm going out. This girl got on Beyonce's Good Internet and willingly told a story about how she went out with some of her homegirls. When they was on their way back, this dude approached her and asked her for her social media information. She tells him no. He starts to get aggressive. One of her homegirls, who she later tried to come forward and say she really ain't know the girl like that, but even with the girl not knowing you like that, she still came forward to defend you. The dude then jumps on the girl and they just stand there and watch the shit happen.
He's got her pinned on the ground, literally repeatedly punching her in the face. We obviously couldn't stop it because we are also just gonna get beaten up. So strangers with
Baby, it's supposed to be one band, one sound, and it's going the fuck down, or you can't be the fuck around. And that's just supposed to be the rule of thumb because it's strength in numbers. And that's all it is. And the sickest part about it is, after the internet started chewing her up, she made a response video talking about the reason that she didn't jump in on top of the fact that it was a man versus a woman was because she didn't know the girl like that. So what? The girl didn't know you like that and still felt the need to defend your honor. Still felt the need to try to defend you because that's how it's supposed to go. And I ain't gonna hold you. Shorty that got jumped on, she a better woman than me. Because when I tell y'all edges would have been in the street and asses would have been beat, each and every one of you bobblehead bitches would have had to see me after that.
For some, her response did not make things any better. Actually, it made them worse. People especially focused on her response about the length of time that she knew her friend. People felt that her and the other friends within their group should have and could have done more, even though they were scared to fight with this man. However, some had a different opinion.
At her because she didn't jump in to defend or help the girl who was getting beat up. Here's my thing. Stop jumping up in the faces of men like you're a man. You're not a man. If she did not have the...
Yeah, I hear you. You got some valid points and whatever. But I also heard her, and from what I heard, it didn't sound like her friend jumped up in his face like she was a man. It sounded like she simply was defending her friend, and it sounded like she was doing it very politely. And he just took it upon himself to put his hands on her, and kept putting his hands on her. I don't know. But what really gets me is the fact that she said it was a few of them. So it was enough for y'all for one man. But I guess that's still irrelevant because they still ain't do shit. Everybody different. Everybody different. Am I going to defend my friend? Absolutely, if I feel like that's my friend. Okay, look. She says she don't want to give it to you. Leave her alone. That's not enough to make somebody put their hands on somebody. So I don't know. That don't make no sense. It was basically giving... oh, well, she deserved it. She jumped in his face like shit. No. You mad because somebody don't want to give you their socials? You mad because another person asked you to leave her alone and walk away? Insanity.
Actually, my advice is not old school, because when I was growing up, you were able to have a conversation with a guy and just simply say, hey, I'm not interested. No, thank you. I appreciate it. But that was very nice of you. That was the interaction we used to have with men. Y'all can't have that conversation now. So now my advice is walk away. Get to a safe place. Stop interacting with these men. And this new school advice that y'all are giving a lot of young ladies is getting them knocked out. It's getting them dragged. So I don't know, because I see clip after clip, story after story. Something has to give. It's true. Men need to be taught. However, you as the average woman walking down the street, living your life, out here dating, hanging out with your homegirls, you don't know which man has been taught or not. So until you can confirm that that joker has been taught, you need to carry yourself like you are prey. You are a deer walking around an alligator pond. Never, ever forget that. Never forget that. Never forget that.
So this story time is a lot to unpack, and it has so many layers. And it really brings up the topics of female friendship and male to female interactions, consent, your role as a woman in society, all that jazz, all those complicated things. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching.